The politicization of the Texas school shooting already on the opinion pages of the New York Times on their online edition. The Gray Lady blasting Congress for not enacting stronger gun laws. With that, we bring in Republican Congressman Ron DeSantis of Florida. Nice to see you, sir. I'm not sure if being held to task by the editorial page of the New York Times bothers you, but does the inaction by Congress bother you?
Well, in this case, Leland, I mean, we're still getting facts, but it seems like he used a shotgun and just a basic handgun that he didn't have the right to have anyway. So I'm not exactly sure what the New York Times are referring to. I know they definitely have an agenda where they want to restrict gun usage and gun ownership. Looking at this guy, though, it seems like he had, he wore the trench coat. He had the same symbol that Dylan Klebold and Columbine had. And he was saying that he was sparing some of the people because he wanted them to be able to tell the story about what he was doing. So this is something that I think you're going to have to look to see. What were their warning signs? I have not seen at this point that this was like a Nicholas Cruz thing where you had red flags everywhere for years. But that is, I think, where we need to see get more information.
All right. Appreciate the insights on that. Want to get your thoughts on something that I know you are passionate about, to say the least. Here's the president's tweet from yesterday. Reports are that there was indeed at least one FBI representative implanted for political purposes into my campaign for president. It took place very early on, long before the phony Russian hoax became a hot fake news story, if true, all-time biggest political scandal. And then there was the president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, on CNN explaining a little bit more. Take a listen.
I don't know for sure, nor does the president, if there really was one. We're told that.
Told that by whom?
We're told that by people who, for a long time, we've been told that there was some kind of infiltration.
All right. So on one hand, we have the president tweeting this stuff out. On the other hand, we have his lawyers saying the president doesn't really know whether there was an FBI, quote unquote, spy or not. Any insight?
So the idea that there was like somebody showing up to Trump Tower, working alongside everyone during the campaign, that's not, I think, what we're talking about here. What we are talking about here is somebody who very well may have been paid by either the FBI or the CIA, somebody who was involved in perhaps facilitating some Russian contacts, certainly talking with people who were peripheral figures in the Trump campaign. And so you think about some of these different meetings that supposedly have tipped off the FBI. A guy like George Papadopoulos, who was really a nothing burger in the campaign, he somehow is meeting with the Australian ambassador. You know, how did that meeting get facilitated? How did that information get back? So I do think that there was definitely, and even the New York Times and Washington Post are now acknowledging this to be the case, whereas 3 months ago they would have said that's crazy talk. So we need to know, what did the FBI do?
That goes to the heart of the issue. What did the FBI do? And there seems to be this narrative among certain Republicans that they have already concluded that the FBI had ill intentions here. The FBI was out to get President Trump. Even some are saying out to frame then candidate Trump. Do you feel that strongly? Is there evidence there for that yet, or do we still need to learn more?
I think we need to learn more, but here's the thing, Leland. This didn't happen in a vacuum. This happened right on the heels of the Hillary investigation about the classified information or email system, and at every key step in the way, the FBI bent over backwards not to make a case. They would give immunity rather than go to the grand jury.
Hold on, Congressman. You've been very vocal specifically about the Clintons and about what should have been happening and whether investigations should have been launched. Let's turn this around. If, for example, Chelsea Clinton had been meeting with the very same Russian lawyer that Donald Trump Jr. Met with, and the FBI decided to do nothing about that, and Hillary Clinton had won the election, I suspect you'd be here saying, hey, we got to investigate these ties to Russia.
Well, the problem is that Trump Tower meeting was not any reason basis for any of the stuff we're talking about. And so they were taking, and the reason why a lot of us are troubled is because they were...
Hold on, fair point. If members of the Hillary Clinton campaign who had pictures taken with Hillary Clinton, as George Papadopoulos did, you'd probably be saying right now, hey, we got to look into these. True or not?
Well, actually, that would still be way less than what the Clinton campaign actually did.
Okay,
Remember,
but
they
still,
hired a foreign national,
Congressman,
Christopher Steele, who was bringing in all these Russians to try to get dirt on Donald Trump. And so my point, Leland, is just simply this. What troubles me is the dissimilar treatment between the lack of zealousness with Hillary and then what seems to me they would take the smallest of things and then launch major probes. I mean, a counterintelligence investigation against a rival political campaign, that is a big deal.
We got to run, but fair to say you don't think the dissimilar treatment, in your words, was a coincidence or unintended?
Well, Peter Strzok said that we needed an insurance policy in case the guy got elected president.
Okay.
That is very troubling to me.
All right. Congressman, we appreciate it. Thanks for being here, and appreciate you making the time on a busy Saturday when you're down in Florida. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.